The social influence of Africa can be looked at from various lenses, including cultural impact, economic might, political clout, and soft power, a concept encompassing media, entertainment, and diplomacy. Such countries have massive social influence within Africa and in the world because of their population size, economic might, cultural exports, and regional or continental leadership. Here are the top 10 countries with social influence in Africa, according to various influencing factors on the social scene. Wait, have you subscribed to our channel already? If not, please do so to encourage us. Now that you are done, please like the video and turn on the notification button for our next video. Thanks. 10. Algeria. Cultural influence. Algerian music, rhyme, and literature have been influential in North Africa and the wider Arab world. The history of Algeria and its cultural exchanges with France and the Arab world make it a cultural bridge. Political influence. Although Algeria plays an influential role in North African diplomacy and enjoys great influence in the Arab League and African Union, it is geography's gift to be positioned in a place that empowers it to influence regional political dynamics. Economic influence. Rich in oil and natural gas, Algeria is one of the biggest exporters of energy on the African continent. This, besides everything else, adds to its regional and global influence. 9. Morocco. Cultural influence. Morocco has a great mixture of Arab, Berber, and European cultures. Its music, architecture, and food have influenced the larger Maghreb region and beyond. Marrakesh and Casablanca are known as globally iconic cities in tourism and culture. Economic influence. Morocco boasts a high-income economy amongst all nations, having heavy skewed tourism, agriculture, mining, particularly phosphates, and manufacturing. Political influence. Morocco is influential in African and Arab politics, with increasing diplomatic reach into sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East. The country has an influential member of the Arab League and is also a part of the African Union. 8. Ethiopia. Cultural influence. The originator of coffee, Ethiopia is a country boasting one of the oldest and richest cultures in Africa, which had an influence on the art, music, and food of the entire continent. Political influence. Ethiopia has been at the helm of African politics through the leadership in the AU and a long history of diplomatic relations by hosting major international organizations in Addis Ababa. Economic power. It hosts one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, focusing on infrastructure development, manufacturing, and agriculture. Uganda. Cultural influence. Uganda has made a name through its music, like BB Cool and Eddie Kenzo, and through the growing film industry, for example, The Last King of Scotland. The Ugandan dance styles are influencing the broader African diaspora. Economic influence. It is expected that the oil reserve will increase the regional economic influence of Uganda. It also possesses an excellent agricultural sector, most especially in exporting coffee and tea. Political influence. Being a big brother in East African diplomacy, Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni stands at the leading edge of regional politics and also affairs of the African Union. Ivory Coast or Côte d'Ivoire. Cultural influence. The Ivory Coast is a giant in the Francophone world, with enormous influence, especially within its music, such as Coupe de Kala and Zouglou, fashion and art. Leading exporter of cocoa, influencing world chocolate markets. Economic power. The country boasts one of the largest economies in West Africa, having a very lively agricultural sector and oil industry. Political influence. Being one of West Africa's key countries, it boasts influential positions in regional organizations such as ECOWAS and the African Union. Ghana. Cultural influence. Ghana has become a cultural beacon in West Africa, with music and cinema gaining widespread popularity across the continent. Accra is one of the key cultural hubs in the region. Political influence. Ghana is considered a stable democracy and a model for democratic governance in Africa. It also plays an important role in the West African region, being a leading member of ECOWAS. Economic influence. Ghana's growing oil sector, its mining industries, gold especially, make it a regional economic player. Kenya. Culturally, Kenya is one of the key countries in East African culture. Nairobi is known for its vibrant art scene, and Kenyan genres like Benga and Afrofusion are loved. Economically, Kenya is among the leading economies in East Africa, with a growing tech industry, especially in Nairobi's Silicon Savannah, which has become an international hotbed for tech startups and investments. Politically, Kenya is at the center of East African political affairs and a member of the East African Community and the African Union. Egypt. The ancient civilization of Egypt has left its mark on the world. Its rich history of art, science, and architecture, especially the pyramids, continues to be an inspiration globally. Egypt has one of the oldest film industries in Africa and produces influential films throughout the Arab and African world. Egyptian music and TV dramas are widely consumed. Egypt is one of the largest and most influential countries in the Arab world. It enjoys strong diplomatic ties with African and Middle Eastern countries. It plays a key role in the Arab League and the African Union. South Africa. South Africa is one of the largest and most developed economies on the continent, hence a regional economic leader. It is a member of the BRICS group of emerging economies, comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. South Africa is known globally for its diverse culture into music and films like District 9, to the running of international events like the World Cup 2010. Cape Town is a major hub of the creative arts. South Africa plays a vital role in regional stability and diplomacy. It is an influential member of the African Union and actively participates in various global issues, such as climate change and human rights. Nigeria. Nigeria is an African powerhouse as far as culture is concerned due to Nollywood, the largest movie industry in the world. Afrobeat music made by Nigerian musicians like Burna Boy, Wizkid and Davido has gained ground worldwide. Nigeria has the largest economy in Africa, led by oil exports, agriculture, and a growing information technology industry. With more than 220 million citizens, Nigeria has the most citizenry of any other nation in the African continent and therefore is bound to have a stronger say in regional and continental affairs. The nation plays a big brotherly role in the African Union and within ECOWAS. Key factors contributing to social influence. Cultural exports, music, film, fashion and food are major social influences in Africa. Countries with developed entertainment industries include Nigeria, South Africa and Ghana, all of which export culture to the rest of the world. Political leadership. Countries that play influential roles within African political bodies like the African Union, ECOWAS and the Arab League have great influence in shaping continental or regional policies. Economic power. The strength of their economies grants countries the power to shape international trade, attract foreign investment, and even set trends in business and commerce. Examples of such influence include South Africa, Nigeria, and Egypt. Diplomacy and peacekeeping. Ethiopia, Kenya, and South Africa are some of the countries known for their peacekeeping roles and solving conflicts, further raising their influence in Africa and beyond. These countries have an enormous influence on Africa's present and future in terms of setting trends in culture, politics and economics, which have ramifications both within the continent and further afield.